Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Thanks, CPAC, so much for having us. Project Veritas, CPAC edition, uncanceled. Everyone's saying, what can I do about the censorship? You know, most recently, just this week, one of our Twitter accounts was canceled. Project Veritas Action, our second organization, was suspended. Twitter said that we were evading permanent suspension. I'm not sure what they mean by that. We've had this account for years. This comes on the heels of Project Veritas' Twitter account being suspended. The reason given to us was because we violated people's privacy. But we're doing reporting, investigative reporting. We confronted this guy outside of his house, the Facebook vice president. We caught him on a hidden camera talking about censorship. This is what reporters do. And Twitter suspended our account 2 weeks ago, saying we were posting people's private information. Again, we don't know what they mean. Now, CNN does the exact same thing. Drew Griffin confronts people outside of their homes, but not Facebook vice presidents, no. He confronts non-public figures, private residents. And unlike CNN, they didn't blur the number on the house. So what we're doing is what journalists have done for decades. And they didn't blur the number, I'm blurring it for you. But that tweet by CNN remains online. Now, we tried to appeal the suspension. They told us we could. During the appeal, we were suspended. The media called Twitter. Twitter changed their minds and suspended us permanently, saying to CNN that we violated the company's, quote, anti-doxing policies. We're not sure what they mean by that. We're just reporting information the public has a right to know. And we were suspended on Twitter permanently. But unlike what Brian Fung said, now we have Anna Cabrera and Brian Stelter saying the opposite on the air.
This is part of a much broader crackdown, as we mentioned, by social media giants on accounts that are promoting misinformation.
Misinformation? That's not what Twitter told us. They said we were violating people's privacy. Brian Stelter, again, just making stuff up.
But Project Veritas, a very controversial conservative group, got swept up in a Twitter policy by violating multiple rules on the site.
But we didn't violate multiple rules on the site. We violated one rule, according to Twitter, anti-doxing and privacy. They're just lying. They just make stuff up. Anna Cabrera then says this.
Project Veritas, a conservative activist organization, at least that's how they couch themselves.
I have never couched myself as an activist organization. That's psychological projection on behalf of CNN. They're the activist. And you know what? Usually I demand a retraction. Usually we have the retracto alpaca. But they lie so much. You know, we already sued the New York Times for defamation. And you know what? We're going to go ahead and sue the hell out of CNN for what they said here. You know, we're going to start going on offense. You want to lie about me, Brian Stelter? How about you lie to a federal judge? How about you lie under oath? How about you perjure yourself, Brian Stelter, Anna Cabrera? We're going to sit you down under oath, and you'll be forced to do something you've never had to do, and that's tell the damn truth. It's about time we go on offense and sue the shit out of them. Also, we're going to have a legion of whistleblowers, brave heroes, people on the inside like Eric Cochran, the Pinterest software engineer. He leaked code from within Pinterest that said they were censoring Bible verses. You couldn't actually type the word in verses. It changed it to verse us. And you never would have believed it, except Eric blew the whistle, went on the record, lost his job, and did this for the public's right to know. I asked Eric Cochran why he did such a thing.
To me, there's no other option. I could go through life and I could live in the comforts of life, then I'll just fall to ashes. No matter what I lose, it'll mean something after I'm gone.
And Eric Cochran from Pinterest is here today. Eric, would you come on stage?
2 years ago, my life changed drastically after uncovering hidden censorship of live action and the pro-life movement. In these times, some risk is required of all of us who want to make a change bigger than ourselves. That means different things for all different people. If you see corruption on the inside of a major institution, government agency, big corporation, come talk to us at Project Veritas. We'll have your back and we'll make that change.
And Eric's actions helped inspire a Google insider. Zach Voorhees found a memo, a privileged memo inside Google talking about algorithmic unfairness. Sounds like a fictional term out of 1984. It's not fiction, it's reality. Google saying that we have to, even if things are factually accurate, they're unfair. And in some cases, it might be helpful to make society reach a more fair and equitable state via product intervention. We're not sure what Google means by that, but Zach went public with PowerPoint presentations saying people are programmed. He told me that blowing the whistle and losing his job at Google was like an act of atonement.
I feel that when I'm coming and explaining what Google was doing, this is an act of atonement, okay, to make my conscience clear.
And Zach, Google whistleblower, is here today. Come on stage, Zach.
Google, Facebook, and the big tech oligarchs represent the Trojan horse for totalitarianism, sacrificing American freedoms at the altar of their cancel gods. And they would have gotten away with it if it weren't for James O'Keefe and the brave employees at Project Veritas. Thank you. Let's give them a round of applause.
Now, what you almost know is that CNN and Washington Post don't have that much power, but they have power because of Google's algorithms prefer CNN. This man came to us, actually I met him at CPAC 2 years ago, and he recorded all of his colleagues of CNN bemoaning how the network isn't really doing journalism at all.
Seeing what we were and what we could be and what we've become. It's just awful. We could be so much better than what we are. Now it's just entertainment. That's all it's become.
This is a 25-year veteran of CNN recorded, and in fact, one of our insiders is still on the inside of CNN and gave us access to Jeff Zucker's 9 a.m. conference calls, which I recorded for 2 months, and I thought I'd dial into the 9 a.m. and tell Jeff Zucker hello.
You're unmuted. Hey, Jeff Zucker, are you there? Hey, this is James O'Keefe. We've been listening to your CNN calls for basically 2 months, recording everything. Just wanted to ask you some questions if you have a minute. Do you still feel you're the most trusted name in news? Because I have to say, from what I've been hearing on these phone calls, I don't know about that. I mean, we got a lot of recordings that indicate you're not really that independent of a journalist.
Okay. Thank you for your comments. So everybody, in light of that, I think what we'll do is we'll set up a new system.
Yeah. I'm surprised he let me finish my comments. So one of the CNN insiders came public. He told me it was a choiceless choice to blow the whistle.
I decided to wear the camera because I didn't see any other option, because I noticed that I was in a very unique position in space and time to just do something to protect the Republic.
Gary Porch, would you come on stage from CNN?
All right, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, CNN, I did not betray CNN. CNN betrayed me, they betrayed you, they betrayed the rest of the American people when they abandoned their journalistic mission. This right now is our 1776. The new battle for our republic is the battle over information of whom is allowed to see what at what given time. Truth is now subjective. That's why we do what we do. If you have a story in government, media, or education, come find us. We will protect you and tell your story. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Gary. And now we move on to Facebook. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg recorded talking about how bad the vaccine is, something that you're not even allowed to say inside Facebook or you'll be banned. In fact, me playing the video of Mark Zuckerberg making his comments might make me get banned, so I'm not going to play it. but we were also filming people inside Facebook saying they do shadow ban.
Facebook shadow bans. Yeah. Facebook's notorious for it. And they say they don't, but it's clear that people's content don't comes up because it's been defiltered off the queue.
So they're saying that they do this when under oath they say they don't do it. The two whistleblowers inside Facebook, Ryan and Zach.
I saw like a blatant exception that just targeted conservatives.
And then there was Zach McElroy, who said he violated his own non-disclosure agreement for your right to know what's going on.
I think the truth is more powerful than any NDA. As you say, be brave. I am more brave than I am scared.
And here they are, the two Facebook whistleblowers.
Hey CPAC, I filmed with the hidden camera for 9 months straight while working for Facebook, and I gotta tell you, it was 100% worth it. I have zero regrets. We need more people to stand up, to come forward, to fight against big tech censorship.
Speaking truth to power against one of the biggest tech companies in the world, really, was simultaneously one of the easiest and hardest things that I've ever had to do. It was risky, but I also saw the need to speak out about the abuses that I saw as greater. So if I could leave you with one thing in my experience, I would say that sometimes it can take a lot to speak the truth, but it takes a lot more to speak truth to power. So I would say find the confidence in you and do something great with it.
Thank you. And last but not least, the letter carrier, Richard Hopkins, who overheard his supervisor talking about backdating the postmarks on ballots.
I heard him say to the supervisor that they messed up yesterday. I was like, oh, what did they mess up on? And he told the supervisor that they had postmarked one of the ballot for the 4th instead of the 3rd.
And federal agents were sent to coerce Richard to change his story. Thank God he recorded it.
I'm not, well, I am actually. I am trying to twist you a little bit because in that, believe it or not, your mind will kick in. I am not scaring you, but I am scaring you.
I mean, it's coercion. And Richard asked, what am I signing? What do you have? What are you telling the media? And these guys had no interest in getting to the bottom of what happened. They want, and of course, Hopkins felt betrayed.
They were grilling the hell out of me.
How are you feeling right now?
I'm kind of pissed. I feel like I just got played.
He watched the Washington Post with a headline that said he recanted his statement, according to anonymous sources. He recorded the whole interaction. So who are these sources when he had the tape itself? And he said he had a family. He said what he went through, losing his job with the post office, was worse than his combat experience overseas.
Yeah, I've got a daughter. My daughter's 4, so she doesn't know anything about this. I'll tell y'all, I'd rather be out back in Afghanistan getting shot at by Afghans, honest to God, than, having to be in this kind of position.
Richard Hopkins, come on stage.
How y'all doing today?
USA, USA.
Well, I'm an average guy. Your average Joe you see on the street. You never even would notice me back before this all happened, really. And that's part of the reason why I was able to be where I was and overhear what I heard and be there and get a hold of Project Veritas, who has been they've been at my back this whole time helping me out with this whole situation. I just couldn't let it happen the way it was going down. It bothered me. It at least needed to be known. Whether people believed me or not, I wanted you to know. And now you know. So.
Thank you, Richard. If you see something, if you're out there, if you're lying, cheating, stealing, scamming, just know that we have an army of informants, an army of brave heroes, and we will make you the next unwilling internet celebrity. Thank you very much.